All right, we are back. This is the first official toy video, if you will, for the average toy collector. I am Dylan with the average toy collector, and today we're going to talk about my very first PSA return. So, if anybody doesn't know, PSA is a third-party grading company. You send your cards into them, they give you a grade on a scale of 1 to 10. And essentially just tell you how nice your card is. Obviously 10 is the best. 10 is what most people send their cards for. Everybody wants gem mint, everybody wants the 10, everybody wants the best card quality because of the value of the card goes up usually pretty substantially when you can get a 10. Sometimes 9s aren't too bad depending on the rarity of the card, but for the most part, hitting that 10 is where you want to be to get a real good return on investment. Now, for me, being the average Joe, I don't have a ton of extremely expensive cards. I pretty much just have cards that are super cheap on eBay. So I think the most I've spent on a card on eBay is maybe $20, maybe. For the most part, they're in the $1 to $1.50 range, and they're just cards that I love. They're either players that I love, characters from Pokemon, things like that I love, whatever that may be. And then I sent those to get graded with PSA. I don't intend to make money off of these. Now, you will hear me say or compare some dollar amounts, things like that, just to give you an idea of what you can do. So if there is any average Joes out there that want to turn some type of card collecting into money, it's possible. It's definitely possible. A lot of people even do that as a full-time job. I don't intend to do that myself. Pretty much everything I buy is for my collection, and it's going to stay with me probably until my kids sell it when I'm dead and gone. So hopefully they can make some money when I'm gone, but I don't really plan to sell any of this stuff. So that being said, I send cards that I truly love, that are special to me for whatever reason. I'm going to show you those cards. I'm going to go over why I sent the card, why I think it got the grade that it got. If there's any value to the card, I'll give that to you guys just so you can have that as a reference. But outside of that, I don't plan on selling any of these cards. They'll all stay in my collection. The only time I may sell a card is if I did pull something super cool, and I happen to have pulled it already, or it's the second one of that I got. So, you know, if I were to pull a rare rookie card or something like that, and I pulled it for a second time, then I might sell the extra one, especially if I got 2 10s or something like that. But outside of that, everything I grade will be staying in my collection. So, without further ado, enough of that rambling. Let's see the cards that I graded, and I'll give you just a little backstory on why I chose that card. But let's get into it. So, to start with, we're going to start with the lowest grade. I will say these are not a blind reveal. I did reveal these earlier. This is my first PSA submission. So, I revealed these earlier for myself and a couple of my friends and my wife, things like that. In the future, any future PSA reveals or returns that I get, they will be blind reveals. So you will see my initial reaction to seeing the grade of whatever the card is that I sent on the YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's show this. We'll start with the one I got the lowest grade on. So to start with, I'm very satisfied with the grades. This is my first time ever doing this, like I said. So the grades I got, I'm more than thrilled with. But the first one that I graded was was this guy here, Marcus Rashford. Sorry about the glare. It's going to be tough with the camera and the PSA slabs, but this is a Marcus Rashford. This is a 2023-2024 Topps Chrome Purple Wave Ray Wave refractor. This one is limited or numbered to 175, so there's only 175 of this card in the world. Mine is in a PSA 8. It's hard to see because of the camera, but it is a PSA 8. So the cool thing about this is it is a PSA 8, but this is the highest graded copy of this card in the world right now. So you could almost view it as a 1 of 1. There's no 9s and there's no 10s of this card. This is the highest graded Marcus Rashford Purple Ray Wave in the world. So that's pretty cool. I don't think it'll stay that way. I mean, there's only 175 of them, so there's not a ton of chances to beat it. But I'm sure at some point somebody will send another one in, or it'll get a 10 somewhere down the line from somebody. But this one was special to me, and the reason I sent this one specifically in was because I just got into soccer this summer. I never was a big soccer fan, was never into watching soccer of any kind, and I just got into it this summer. This was the first blaster box of soccer cards I ever bought, was the Topps Chrome, and this was probably the biggest hit out of the box. I did get a Lionel Messi, but it wasn't a numbered card or anything like that. Messi is obviously, I mean, basically the greatest of all time when it comes to soccer, but it wasn't a numbered card. It wasn't anything too crazy, but this was the biggest card from that pull. It's also a guy that I know. I don't know a ton of soccer players, obviously, because I haven't been into it super long. So from just getting into this to soccer in general in 2024 to pulling a limited purple Ray Wave of Marcus Rashford, who is a player that I know for Manchester United, who is a team that I enjoy watching and do follow for the most part, was a really cool way to start and a cool memory to have in a PSA slab. So as I drop it, whoops. But yes, so that's what I mean by like, I don't know the value on this card. Like I said, it's not going to be high. I mean, maybe I could get my money back for it. I doubt it. I'd guess like $15 maybe for the PSA 8. The only thing that may give it a little more value is the fact that it is the highest graded in the world, but that's just with PSA too. Like there could have been, one of the other grading companies that there is a higher one, but for right now, like I said, it's not a crazy card by any means. So next up, we'll do another one that has very little value, if any. Like I said, it's not about that for me. This is a Blake Corum rookie card. This is from the Score a Treat football cards. This is the green bats parallel, if you will, or whatever you want to call it. This one got a 9. So this is a mint 9. I am from Northwest Ohio, so very close to Michigan. Michigan boy here. Rookie card. I think he'll do well in the NFL. I don't know if he'll be, one of the greatest of all times, but I think he'll do decent in the NFL. He'll have a good career. So I thought it would be cool to get this one graded. Like I said, Michigan boy. I'm from the area, so I did think this was a cool one to do. Like I said, no real value, $10-15 maybe, but especially because it got a 9. There is, I think, 2 10s that are also, or that were graded of this. So I think there's 3 9s and 2 10s if I remember right from the population count. But either way, cool card of a guy that I think has potential from a team that I enjoyed watching when he played in college. So another, sentimental card for that reason that I picked up this, or I graded this Blake Corum. So this is another one that I did pull myself as well. So I'll try to point that out as well as I go through, but I did pull this myself. I pulled the Marcus Rashford, as I said, myself as well. So these 2 cards were both pulled by me, which definitely makes them exciting. The next one is definitely a hype train card. Caitlin Clark. This is a mint 9 as well. Tough to see. I mean, I gotta fix the lighting to do more of these, but this is the record breaker card. This is from the Caitlin Clark blaster box. I don't remember what it's actually called, the Caitlin Clark collection, I think, or something, but it's basically a blaster box full of like 5 or 6 packs, and they're all Caitlin Clark cards. She's the only player that you can get in it, and this was probably the best card that I pulled from my blaster box. Definitely riding the Caitlin Clark train. I love Caitlin Clark. She's basically the only reason I started paying attention to the WNBA whatsoever. And this I think was the first product I bought when I got back into sports cards. So I pulled this from the very first product I bought when I started getting back into sports cards. So I thought that was kind of cool. I wanted to get a Caitlin Clark quasi rookie card graded. I know Panini has some new ones coming out, so I'm hoping to pull a rookie card that I can send off from the new Panini stuff. But until then, this will do. And even if I do pull one of those rookies, it's never going to leave. So it'll be in my collection forever. It'll be the forever mint 9 rookie. I didn't look at the pop for this actually, so I don't know the exact pop on this. I've seen other PSAs on eBay and stuff, so I'm sure there's multiple 10s and 9s and stuff out there. So I don't know the exact pop count, but there's definitely more. It's not like there's anything special with the population count on this guy, but yeah, happy to have that Caitlin Clark in the collection. And that would be, so we've had 1 8 and 2 9 so far. Now we get into the big boys. So I've got my first 10. This is an Erling Haaland Black Edge Edition from the Topps UEFA League Match Attack card. It's basically like a card game type of thing, I believe, where you can each player has different stats and stuff like that, and you can play a card game similar to like a Pokemon card game with them. But this is a Black Edge Edition. I got this. I also pulled this myself. I pulled this at work actually one day when I was just chilling. So very cool to get a Gem Mint 10. As I said earlier, I just got into soccer. Manchester City is my favorite team. Bandwagon for sure on that one. I didn't even know they were as good as they were when I started to like them. This guy is the main reason I started to like him. He was the first player that I knew of, that I followed, that I had any connection to whatsoever. And when I found out who he played for, that's who I went with. That, lo and behold, they are 4-time Premier League champions and second in the Premier League right now. So definitely a bandwagon fan there. But either way, Gem Mint 10 on the Erling Haaland. The weird thing about this one is it's like cockeyed in the case. I banged it around a little bit to try to get it a little better centering in there, but it definitely is a little wonky in there. I don't know if it didn't seal properly or whatever at PSA, but it definitely got jumbled around. I could probably reach out to PSA and send this back and get it re-slabbed up, but I probably won't. I mean, I like having stories, so like people come over and I like to talk about things and like, hey, why does that card look funny in that PSA case? And like now I have a story to tell and stuff to talk about. But cool card. Definitely very excited to get a 10 on this. Black cards, any type of black border, things like that are super hard to get 10s on, just because they get white speckles and you can see those white speckles super easy on the black borders. So getting a 10 on this is huge. I did not expect this whatsoever. I only sent this because it was my first Erling Haaland card that I ever pulled. So the sentimental value for me was there, and that's why I sent this card in. Other than that, I did not expect it to get a 10. So seeing this in a 10 is super cool. This one, I think PSA shows on their site that it's like a $35 card, which I think means basically somebody sent it to PSA, it got a Gem 10, and they had PSA put it on their eBay site for them. That's a thing PSA offers as well, that you can just have them grade the card and then sell it right away for you. And I think that's what it means by a PSA having a value for this of $35. I saw some other ones before, like when I was trying to find the declared value that you have to declare to PSA or whatever, that were in like the $50 range maybe. So not chump change by any means. And if I did want to sell this, it would pay for a good chunk of this submission. So cool card, and definitely a one that I will cherish in my collection forever as one of the first 10s that I ever got at PSA. For one of my favorite soccer players of the current era, I guess. But yep. All right, we got one card left. This is the last card, probably the biggest card, arguably my favorite card that I sent in. And this is the first card that I graded that I did not actually pull myself. I got this off of eBay. I'm sure you'll see why I didn't pull it myself, but this is a 1998 Japanese, I think it's Gym Heroes. It doesn't say it on the PSA slab, but I'm pretty sure it's Gym Heroes. This is Misty's Tears. This is the Japanese version, so most people know it as Naked Misty. It is banned in the U.S., or it was banned in the U.S. And when I say banned, I don't mean like it's illegal for me to own this. I mean like this was not the artwork printed on the U.S. version of the Pokemon card. So the Japanese card came out first. When they were translating it to English, the English counterpart for Pokemon or whatever deemed that this card was inappropriate for children. So they switched the artwork on the Misty's Tears. So this is the Japanese version, hence why I didn't pull it myself. It also came out in 98, so I was pretty young when it came out. And this also got a Gem Mint 10. Super excited about that. I did not really expect this to get a 10 either, because I bought it off eBay probably at least 5 years ago now. I don't even know when exactly. I have another one too that's still raw, and I thought this one was the better of the two. So I'm glad I sent this one and it got the 10. I may still send the second one just to get it graded and have a second copy of it. I wouldn't sell that one. I know I said earlier if I had doubles, I may sell them, but that one I would keep. Back to the story when I was talking about the Erling Haaland. This is a big storytelling card. People ask about it, like, why did you get that random Japanese trainer card graded? That's the reason why. It's banned, Naked Misty, all that jazz. That would be why I got this one graded. From a value standpoint, I looked on eBay before I did this video. The last one that sold, it's been a little while since a PSA 10 sold, but it sold for like $331. So this more than paid for the submission. If I were to sell this, it more than paid for all these cards, basically, if I were to sell this. So very, very excited to get a 10 on this guy. Also my favorite card that I got graded. Like I said, I love stories. I love the reasoning behind certain things, like why things happened, error cards, error figures, misprints, things like that that get you talking about the hobby. That's how you get people into the hobby, in my opinion, is weird, strange things that they can talk about. They can tell their friends about. They can get excited about when they are showing off their stuff. So like, this is something that I will forever be excited about when anybody asks me about it or anybody comes and sees my graded cards, things like that, is that Naked Misty card. So with that, that's my first PSA submission. I sent 5 cards, as you saw. I got 1 8, 2 9s, and 2 10s. Super, super happy about that. I couldn't be more excited about those cards. I'm so excited to get them displayed up in this building that I'm in. I probably will do another video soon asking what you guys think the next cards I should grade are. I have like 10 to 20 or so that I really want to get graded, so I might leave it up to you guys to kind of comment and decide. Obviously, there's not going to be a ton of viewers because I just started this channel, so it won't be hard to get a card voted on and submitted. I don't do a ton of cards at a time because I don't have that kind of money. It is a very expensive thing to do. Just to give some background, to get one of these cards graded, I'm not a member of PSA, so you can get stuff cheaper if you are the member. I don't remember exactly what the membership is. It's maybe 99 bucks a year. I don't know. It will definitely save you money if you go that route. I'm not a member though. I did not do that. I may do it at some point, but to do one card, it's $24.99 plus all the shipping. So it's ridiculous to get cards graded. Don't get me wrong. So this was, if you do the math, it's like 150 bucks just to do these 5 cards. So like, it's expensive. It's a hard thing to do for an average Joe collector. That's why I only did 5, because I had a little extra money to do it with. But I get, if you're a card collector and you're an average Joe, it's definitely a difficult thing to do to get things graded. But it isn't a hard process and anybody can do it. I struggled for a long time with wanting to do card grading, especially through PSA, because I was super nervous about the process. It is something really easy to do, and there is a possibility that if any of my subscribers do want to do grading in the future, that I could do some of that for them. Obviously, I'd want you to pay for your own cards or whatever. I wouldn't upcharge you any. I'm not trying to make any money off of you guys. But if you wanted me to do the submission for you, I definitely could in the future. But it is a very cool way to encapsulate your cards, keep them basically in the same condition forever, provided you don't have like a fire or something crazy. But it's also super fun to get the grades back. It's super fun to get the alerts like, hey, your cards are, on their way back and things like that. You can see the grades before they even ship them back to you from PSA. So like, I could have known what all these were graded as before they ever even left the PSA factory. I just like to do the blind reveal. And the next time I get any cards back, it will be a blind reveal, so you guys will see my initial reactions, which are pretty funny. My wife made fun of me pretty good for some of my reactions to these guys, especially that Misty card. So I'm sure you'll get a kick out of that. But anyways, let's end my rambling. It's a kind of a long video for my first one, especially. I didn't think it would be this long, but any questions in the comments, let me know. Anything you guys want to see from a toy standpoint. I know some of my friends will probably watch these and they'll know a good amount of what I have. So if you guys want to see anything specific or want me to talk about anything specific that you know that I do have, by all means comment and let me know. But other than that, I will catch you guys in the next one.